Warning, the voices heard in this video are made synthetically using artificial intelligence. Nothing in this video reflects anything actually stated by the real-life individuals involved. This video is for entertainment purposes only, and serious political content will be avoided for that purpose. Enjoy!
This is the story of three presidents who traveled below to help Orzammar residents. With a sword and a shield they bravely did wield to bring glory to the Grey Warden remnants.
Base proclaimed Lord Master Barack, but now it is time to get down to dirty deeds.
Cracking open this new Jack Daniels flavor, sorrowful, lean early boys, I can't stand this.
It had to be done, Joe. It was for the good of the playthrough.
I'm going to be as gentle as possible with this out of respect for you, Joe. But is Liliana not reaching with the jealousy here? We haven't professed feelings for her, proclaimed to be in a committed relationship, or done the Orlesian tango below the skirt. So what is there to be really mad about here? All we did was flirt with her.
It's the fact we lied and now she feels led on. Not surprised you don't understand given your history, Donald.
Who the hell is we, Joe? You mean you lied and Barack is just cleaning up your mess?
Well, it's done now, don't worry. We will give her the pet nug this episode to help smooth the breakup over.
I feel the demons coming over me.
What?
A heat of retribution will bathe over this world by the time I am done. They are all gonna pay.
Heavy pause.
Joe, please keep your edgy thoughts in a journal. We are not about to have a Joe revenge arc. Prime already did that in the alternate reality where we played Mass Effect. So let's take a different path in this universe.
He probably needs a minute. Donald? Anyways, boys, I'm going to be speed running through a lot of side content today, starting with this hidden dragon fight in the throne room. It's important to do this before crowning a Orzammar king, as once someone is on the throne, it becomes impossible to do this fight. Basically, just place two people on the plates in the left-hand corner of the throne room and one person on the plate right outside of the throne room, and then have your last guy click on the empty throne of Orzammar, and it summons a dragon that was bound by the dwarves, I suppose. He drops one of the best two-handers in the game, Ageless, which weakens Darkspawn and does bonus damage to them, so it's great to keep on Oghren for the upcoming Deep Road section.
Yeah, good Yapberry, but my beloved Morrigan has a gift for us.
It should have been Liliana, not her.
Cry about it, bitch.
So just like the love scene from earlier, this is the other story. Relevant conversation with Morrigan that we can have. She is giving us a ring, which allows her to always track our warden's location. This comes up several times throughout the story, especially in the Witch Hunt DLC, which we will handle last in this series. Interestingly, it allows us to possibly track her as well. The ring being as plot relevant as it is, means it is not limited to her romance. But of course, being in a romance with her changes the dialogue slightly.
I bet it smells just like her. We will never get rid of this ring or wash the hand we wear it on ever again.
Okay, we are absolutely not doing all that, but we are going to get the hidden dialogue for always keeping the ring on us till the end of the game. Viewers, let us know if you kept it in your inventory during your first playthrough and unlock the dialogue at the end of Witch Hunt, same as us.
If y'all need me, I will be in Lincoln's room listening to some evanescence I got to decompress after the loss we have experienced today.
Oh, hell no, Joe, do that shit on your own time. We have a lot to get through today, and I am not about to be a man down. If it helps, Morrigan's arc is mostly closed now, so you won't have to be reminded as much anyway.
Wait, what? No, I need like 50 more hours of her voice. This game is rigged.
What can I say, Donald? Joe had a point. You really did blaze through Morrigan's romance. Now we're going to have to fill the void with other companions.
Okay, I'm willing to continue, but only because Liliana and Wynn both have arcs left for us to explore. It's a brand new world. Start me up.
This isn't over either, Sleepy.
Well, Joe, you missed this shop in Dust Town last episode that had another shale gift, as well as some alchemy recipes, but it's fine because I got to sell off your haul from last episode anyway. While we are here, we might as well deal with the Jarvia supporters. This is the encounter that does give the Carta mission some lore significance, with the Carta dismantled. The castless don't have even a window into Dwarven society, so it makes sense a lot of them are willing to try to kill us for revenge, since they don't feel like they have any future hope with Jarvia gone. It shows that even killing a crime boss is more morally gray than we would first realize.
I guess, but if these guys want to defend a crime boss, then they better prepare to be as clapped up as Jarvia herself. Also, I see you are living up to the rogue main Barack. You're rocking both Zevran and Liliana now. While I prefer Shale, that team is straight up high risk, high reward. I got to respect it.
I guess if anyone was going to give Zevran content, it would be you, Barry.
Thanks for noticing, boys. I will try to bring him a few times down the line. I think he has some amazing lines, but he is going to be replaced with Oghren later this episode, but that's future Obama's problem.
Speaking of, I know you mentioned this is going to be more of a filler episode last time. Barack, what's the game plan today?
Well, my biggest goal is to finish the lyrium smuggling quest. This episode, we have been yapping about it since back in the Circle Tower, and I plan on finally getting our party decked out in late game items before we set off for the deep roads. On that topic, I'm going to do a few more side quests to get our XP up. I'm going to do the Proving Arena, just as if we were siding with Harrowmont, to show the viewers the other side of things. And while we are at the Circle, I'm going to finish Dagnus' quest, start Sten's quest, and show the viewers how to do summoning sciences.
Strap in, boys, open a bottle of Jack and close the hub browser, or your girlfriend's and or boyfriend's legs. Obama is about to reach peak levels of filler content today.
My hairs are graying already, Obama. I'll go tell my wife and lawyers to expect me a few days late, because I can tell you are going to hold us hostage today. I feel like you have some ulterior motives, if I'm being honest.
I have no idea what you mean, Donald, just getting into the lore like normal. Anyways, I got the lyrium for 40 gold, so we are already going to make a 20 gold profit. But here's where we cash in on our coercion skill benefits, viewers. This will be good.
Oh, damn this quest. I always feel bad for this mom, no matter what choice I pick.
It's putting down a mentally insane murderer and then lying to the mom so she doesn't Karen out. I don't see what's so hard.
Maybe you don't feel anything for this quest because you have mommy issues yourself, Donald?
What do you mean I am a perfectly mentally sound individual?
You romance Morgan, you are absolutely not mentally sound, my guy.
Facts.
All right, as a rational man, maybe you're onto something. But as a love-struck nerd, I kindly ask that you keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Damn okay, Donald Smith.
Viewers, I know this is a shameless plug, but our editor made a Mother's Day special episode on the morality of this quest and all the interactions here. If you want to do a deep dive before we get to it, or just see interactions that we will not have in our playthrough.
Is this what we have become?
I just know our editor tipped Barack an extra $2 in his paycheck or something to promote that video. I got to respect the grind set, cringe or no.
I don't know what you mean. There is certainly no favoritism in our payments based on word count, Donald.
Wait, y'all get paid? I thought this was just a group meet that some pasty white dude edits.
Sounds like a total skill issue to me, Joe. I made an excellent trade deal to be here.
Hopes up. We could search the deep roads for decades with no sight of the boy.
Damn, Zevran, maybe don't say that to her face. Let's give her at least a spark of hope here.
Dude is a realist. I respect it. That's why he referenced the whole being slightly more useful than a corpse.
So why did these dudes think selling a priceless book from the Shaperette in the middle of a crowded stadium was a good idea that's like stealing the Declaration of Independence, then selling it at Yankee Stadium or some shit?
Nicolas Cage would probably still be crazy enough to do it. Seems pretty realistic to me.
Does anyone have a kill count as to how many little guys we have killed so far since coming down here? I know the dwarves have a population issue, but we definitely aren't helping that.
We are the heroes, damn it, not our fault. We are delivering vengeance while also saving the world.
So interestingly enough, this quest here is in Dragon Age Keep, but we don't know the impacts of this quest, as of yet. Maybe we will see some effect in Dreadwolf.
You gonna take the 2 gold for the book, Barack?
No, I'm gonna just return it to the Shaper normally. I would take the deal. But roleplay-wise, I think our warden would see the value of the Shaperette information and duties. 2 gold isn't exactly make or break anymore either. I do wish there was a monetary reward or something for returning it, though.
Probably one of the few selfish decisions that is rewarding to do in this game. I know you're allergic to being optimal, Barack, so I'm not surprised.
I agree. I probably would have liked to have the extra gold, but it really isn't a make or break amount. Plus, if it's in Keep, who knows, maybe it will have some kind of consequence down the line.
I don't know about that one, Joe. It's certainly not impossible, but most Dragon Age Keep options just change the dialogue or a single advisor map quest. I know Dragon Age isn't Mass Effect, but their import service needs some work, especially to justify a whole damn website that records the details of all your decisions.
That's fair, but every once in a while you get surprised. I mean, maybe with all the time they are putting in Dreadwolf, we could have some crazy game-changing decision like if you keep Loghain or Alistair in the Wardens. Got to keep hope alive, you know?
So why are we helping these Harrowmont simps? It's not like we are getting anything extra. And we have decided on Bellin anyway, so why even give him a chance?
Quit the bull, you Big Mac muncher. We have not decided on our choice yet. Viewers, keep commenting on your choice so we can get a good debate going.
Yeah, okay, ladies, keep it up. But to answer your first question, Donald, I think there is good lore to be had by showcasing to the viewers all sides of this election. I think both quests help highlight Bellin's corruption, but also Harrowmont's good nature, but also inefficiency. I mean, two of his most loyal fighters drop out, one of which is his own cousin, and another is a warrior of his house here that drops out simply because of a rumor. Sure, it makes Bellin look bad and underhanded, but Zevran points out it doesn't really look good on Harrowmont, that he can't keep his men in line either.
I guess I can at least respect Harrowmont a little. He never does stoop to Bellin's level of blackmail and forgery. I can respect someone who does stick to his guns, even if his guns are defective as hell.
Well, since you complimented Harrowmont, I guess I will do the same. He bagged a red-headed baddie.
That's it?
Yeah, pretty much not much more to say. I really don't trust the ending slides or any of this dude's policies end of story. I would rather have someone that keeps their word.
Okay, that was more elaborate than I thought, Joe. Anyways, while we are finishing this quest, I wanted to get your opinion on something. I know we all had our watch party of the Fallout TV show last week. What were your guys' thoughts on it?
Barack, this is not even close to Dragon Age. What about staying on brand?
Our editor's name and profile picture is literally Fox from Fallout. This is about as on brand as we can get, Donald.
Well, personally, I thought it was sick as hell. The Brotherhood's Pridwin returned, and the militaristic Brotherhood is back to bring democracy to their roots in California. They also showed how badass ghouls can be having pre-war training and centuries of experience. The story was just all right, and I'm willing to give the writers another chance.
I thought it had some really good effects. You can tell they took their time on the power armor and monsters, but I thought it was such a waste that they had a Yao guy and a Gulper in the show, but not a super mutant or Deathclaw, which are the more classic enemies. I also thought Bethesda played on their strengths with emphasizing the Vault 33 mystery. All the fans knew there must be some experiment in the Vault from the first episode, but slowly deducing what it was made me invested in the season as a whole, especially since I could throw ideas back. And fourth with the boys, definitely a unique experience.
Good points, gentlemen. I really enjoyed the season as a whole. The characters were great, and the effects were cool. I think the lore of California and Shady Sands is a bit convoluted at the current moment, but I'm sure as the series continues, we will get a more concrete understanding as to what is happening since the fate of the NCR is up in the air at the moment. The reason I ask is because the internet rants from New Vegas fans especially is some of the biggest seething I have seen in all my years. People are attacking on Bethesda for their lore, inaccuracies bigger than when Fallout 3 came out. And while some of it might be valid concerns, a lot of it just seems like blind Bethesda hate, as if most of them didn't start with Fallout 3 anyway. I won't get too much into it since we are not a Fallout channel, but good God, some fans just can't enjoy shit. Everyone put in great work in the show, and I hope most Fallout fans can enjoy the fan service and cool moments on their own.
Good points, Barry, I think, for anyone who is complaining about how much Bethesda hates New Vegas or how they ruined their lore theories. They should take a moment to think about the fact that Tim Kaine, the damn creator of Fallout and Shady Sands, loved the show and criticized how mad some fans were about the whole NCR issue. If some random dude with 1,000 hours in New Vegas is more mad at the lore than the damn creator who put his blood, sweat, and tears into the idea, town, and faction that the fan is whining about, I think someone has their wires crossed, but enough of that, boys. Let's get back into the game.
Yeah, viewers, check out the show. If you haven't already, you won't regret it. Bethesda focused on their strong suits in the show, and the effects and fan service are top tier.
First up is Suwan of the Warrior Cast. Many of you remember when Suwan made history as a lad of 12 by defeating his own father in this very ring. Today he fights as champion for the Royal Prince Balin against a member of the famed Grey Wardens.
Anyways, we are going to cut a fight or two out of the proving since they really aren't giving us much of a challenge, and we have a lot more content to get through today.
All right, so I have to correct myself a little here, boys. I said a few episodes ago that we can fight another IVO in the proving to get some revenge on the IVO who betrayed us. Well, it turns out IVO only appears if we are siding with Harrowmont, since we did Balin's Quest. Already the fight changes for some reason to us fighting someone from House Volney. So that's my bad. I forgot about that.
Man, Obama, that is 2 slip-ups in a row. Your lore knowledge is waning. You want to pass the title over to me?
It's just a few cracks, Donald. I got this under control. I'll swipe through the wiki a extra few times before our next episodes, just in case. I like the lore the announcer gives on seconds, though. It shows how ingrained the title of second is in Dwarven society, and why our bro Gorham was so loyal to us.
We didn't need the based announcer to tell us that Barack, we experienced it firsthand with how based our big bro is.
True, we learned about the loyalty of seconds during our origin and even got a small hint of it when interacting with Doolin and Vartag as well. Seconds definitely are ride or die, considering even in exile Gorham is our bro, and whatever second is the future king is still their second 10 years later.
True, they are ride or die, and that also means it emphasizes the die part as well. Whoever we make as king, the second we don't pick is likely going to get exiled or killed with their lord.
Looks like Doolin's going to take a long trip soon.
That is not confirmed yet. Please keep voting, viewers.
I see you're using our new boyfriend Zevran as your second in this fight, Barack.
Yeah, I think he synergizes well with our tank stats and aggro pulling. Plus, I felt like if I used Liliana or Morrigan, someone would whine, complain, or cream, most likely all three.
Okay, I'll give you that one, Barry. Also, these proving fights are only slightly more difficult than the ones we fought in the first episode. Shame we didn't have more of a challenge.
Well, even if they are easier, it still feels thematic as hell, returning to the proving and becoming champion a second time. Now it's time for the final fight, and he has boss health, so let's see how this goes.
Fought under the eyes of the paragons of Orzammar to honor the memory of King Henry. Only 2 warriors remain, fighting for his royal cousin Balin. The Jotun Iduken has led his team to triumph over every unit so far.
It's crazy that 10 episodes later, we are right back in the rigged proving with the low poly switch graphics. What a long way our little guy has come.
True, it's crazy how we planned that out. It wasn't our intention or anything either.
Wait, this dude is our cousin? Well, that's ironic. Time to prove who's top dog in the Ayadukan family.
He is pushing our exile buttons here too, so we may even have a emotional amp this fight.
I don't need anime power-ups, Joe. This guy is going down, I believe, in our squad and our build.
Oh shit, these guys have the max champion skill tree to knock people down with Warcry that shouldn't even be possible at our level. Also, damn, I hadn't seen our warden take that much damage since the early game.
Wait, hold on. What kind of hacking min-max build are these guys running? They should only be 1 level above us at most. Don't worry, I got this. Zevran will take care of the ads while we duke this out, cousin to cousin.
Not a bad strat, Barry, but these guys are doing some next level damage on us, but don't panic,
Wait, where the hell did our health go? Did that chunky bitch really clear half of our tank's health in 1 hit? Oh shit.
Was Obama getting a death before Joe on anyone's bingo card? If so, can you let Barack borrow your future sight? He clearly needs it.
Corypheus cock. Stuff it, Donald. I'm still in this bitch. I'm going to have Zevran take care of the last archer while the 2 waifus take care of our hacking cousin here.
That sounds good, but if this dude breathes on either of them, they are dead, so how exactly are you going to pull this off?
We still have a mage, and it's time to invest in our entropy skill tree stocks. These dudes may be min-maxed, but they don't have the resistance against horror or sleep. If I can stun lock them, this will still be free. It's time to remind the viewers why mages are overpowered in this game.
Hell yeah, hand the keys to Morrigan. That's what I call cooking Barack.
What a way we have come, Donald. You used to chew me out for using mages, and now you're rooting for our mage to carry us in this fight.
Don't get too excited, Joe. There's only 1 mage I root for. Plus, even if we do lose, I would still be excited because it brings our resident nerd Barack stocks way down.
Not even close. I have soloed this game before. And just like Batman, I have backup plans and prep time. So you can keep dreaming, Donald.
I like how Zevran has just been Looney Tunes chasing the last dude all over the proving arena. It kind of turns this intense fight into a joke.
Yeah, that's the downside of ranged AI. Their coding probably tells them to keep running no matter what to get a ranged hit in.
So if this dude is Trian's top soldier, It's crazy that he didn't bring this dude with him. In our origin expedition of the Oghren dungeon, he might have actually lived.
That would have been bad, like really bad. This dude would have killed whatever ambush Bellin set up and then could have easily killed us because this dude would be way stronger. Then the warden, if he didn't get the joining amp or all the experience from traveling around Thadas Moor. In some alternate timeline, maybe he did bring this guy, and Trian is now running for king instead.
Hey Barry, did the backup plan you mentioned include killing Zevran?
Shut up, Joe. He wasn't in the cone, and I wasn't expecting him to run directly into it at that moment either.
Skill issue.
Did you and Donald fuse when I wasn't looking, Barry?
Just feeling good about winning the championship for a second time, Joe.
Damn, Obama, that was a cold line. I am proud of you for that one.
I'm getting into character boys anyways. The other reason I did this quest is to unlock the Proving After Dark quest. We earn a small amount of money every fight, and after 4 fights, we get a unique ring that improves blood magic.
And he goes right back to robot mode after. Are we really going to spend all day in this arena?
Absolutely not. We can finish this quest another time or just skip it since we aren't a mage ourselves. I just think one more shot at the Proving with a Twist would be fun. Anyways, let's hit the road. We have to drop by the Circle Tower and may as well pick up Sten's quest too, while we are at it.
God damn you liberals. We have gone exactly 1 episode away from the Circle Tower, and that was apparently too long for you two.
I mean, the Circle Tower is a huge epicenter for quests, Donald. It's just how the game works. Both Orzammar and Redcliffe have quests that tie into the Circle, so we are going to have to go back eventually anyway.
Sounds rigged to me.
Well, I'm glad things are good with Leliana. I suppose maybe you can stop brooding and holding that framed fan art image. Now, Joe?
It's a step in the right direction. That's all I'll say.
I mean, again, she really didn't have a reason to be upset. We weren't in any kind of committed relationship. She kind of just worked herself up, being honest.
She is a passionate girl. You just don't understand romance, Donald.
You are not quite as callow as I thought.
Wait, what did this big bitch call us? How dare he call us callow? Also, what the hell does callow mean? Is it a slur? Should I be offended?
Callow simply means inexperienced or immature. It originates its meaning from a featherless bird, which, to be fair, he knows we are a new Grey Warden, and genuinely most origins put the Warden at around 20. Based on outside lore, Sten is in his mid-30s, so naturally he would view us as immature at first.
Add on to that the fact Kunar have a very strict society that views outsiders as unenlightened, and it's actually a big deal for him to admit we are more wise than he first thought.
I swear, even when he's trying to be nice, he comes off as a damn tsundere.
That describes half our party, honestly. Either way, Sten is finally going to reveal why he was caged and why he doesn't have a desire to return home.
It's weird how he says they came from the sky too. Like, is he just embellishing for dramatic effect, or is he talking about some kind of flying darkspawn?
Flying darkspawn sounds like a cool enemy in this game. Too bad this game's engine is older than the invention of fire and makes the Switch graphics look next gen.
He is probably embellishing a bit to describe how surrounded his squad was and how he couldn't tell where they came from. Still, it's curious how Sten survived the darkspawn attack. The darkspawn don't normally leave people alive. Wait, no, now that I think about it, we had 2 examples in Ostagar of the darkspawn leaving a survivor. And honestly, throughout Awakening, we see them leaving survivors. I was full of shit on that one.
I was about to correct you. Too glad you caught yourself.
Yeah, it was one of those moments where I wrote it in the script. And as soon as I typed it up, I realized how wrong I was.
Wait, what?
Well, Sten winning the Darkspawns weekly, Survivor lottery aside, I guess we timed raising his approval perfectly since we are going to the Circle Tower now anyway. Obama's nerdy optimization strikes again.
Again, I'll choose to take that as a compliment, DT, but yeah, this is a quest we won't finish now since it eventually locks us into Redcliffe. Since we haven't done Redcliffe yet, we won't finish it, since that would lock us into finishing the first part of Redcliffe. Well, let's go help out Sten and meet one of the dumbest NPCs in this game.
Oh yeah, this dude, he paid money for looting rights from another scavenger, as if looting rights meant a single goddamn thing.
What's worse is nothing but bodies were even here. He sold him nothing.
Selling him nothing sounds like the Dragon Age equivalent of NFTs.
Well,
Of course, your old ass doesn't see the economic superiority of million-dollar ape profile pictures.
Too bad your rich ass couldn't use them since you were banned on Twitter for a decade.
Yeah, and whose fault is that?
Bruh. Well, fun fact. It's important to bring Sten in every dialogue option for his quest, since having Sten not only unlocks unique dialogue, but also can get information out of people without bribing or speech checks.
It's crazy you can do this side quest without bringing him, who would be crazy enough to do a companion quest without bringing the companion it's for. Except for Morrigan, who has a good in-lore reason for not bringing her.
Always have the one blind spot, Donald.
You're goddamn right, Sleepy. Also, holy shit, they added more Mage Collective side quests. How many of these goddamn things are we gonna do, Barack?
Well, a lot of them, just like a lot of the other side quests, we will naturally run into while doing the main quest. So we might as well show the viewers where they are during our playthrough, and it's free money and XP for us too. I don't think I am going to do them all, but we will see how much we get done just casually going through the game for now. I want to be thorough with everything, but I also want to keep the content at an entertaining pace.
That's fair, plus it helps save our editor from having to edit a side quest montage episode, or somehow writing a script full of quests that have no lore or any interesting gameplay to them.
Hold on, boys, this is one of my favorite hidden Easter eggs here.
For whose amusement? Some being of cosmic power, sublime, enlightened beings. Cosmic power? What, you're serious? They thought of all this grit, all the war, they bloody thought of boils. I got a boil the size of your nose on my big toe, and some beings are enjoying this. Disturbed, sick bastards, if you ask me. Ahem. Still maintain they're more enlightened than that. If I ever come across one of them, I'll give them a what for.
I do not like the fact the AI is becoming aware of the fourth wall.
You just know the voice actors were grinning ear to ear recording the dialogue. I legit never heard that before now.
It is tucked away at the corner of Lake Calenhad only after finishing the tower, which technically you can skip since only side content will take you here after, and you also have to look in the corner, which is easy to miss. This game is filled with fun fourth wall breaks, so I will try to point them out when they come. Anyway, after a guided deep breathing session, I have recalled exactly how to do all 4 stages of summoning sciences.
Hey Barack, why do you have the wiki pulled up on your phone?
Shush, don't break the magic, Donald. It's the theater of the mind.
Yeah, whatever.
It is a bit long-winded for us to yap about all the steps, so I'm going to put our editor to work on this one. I'm going to do all 4 summons in order, and I will have our editor put on screen which one I'm currently doing and all the steps. I figure that is easier for the viewers for like the 5 or so people following along.
Yeah, we could do all the steps, but that would be long-winded and probably harder to comprehend, so if you want the guide, just pause at each summon and read it. Plus, if it doesn't make sense reading it, you can still follow along with our own steps.
What is the payoff for doing all this, Barry?
Well, besides giving the viewers a true 100% playthrough, there is 2 big reasons to do this quest. The second summon unleashes a trickster spirit who can appear as a chanter's board quest in Redcliffe down the line to track him down and kill him. It's a cool boss fight and also gives us some really good XP and boots. The 4th summon, and the more important reason, is we can pickpocket the ARL of Foreshadow by doing the last summon. He is not only a reference to a similar character in the original Baldur's Gate, but his notes also foreshadow the main story of Inquisition, referencing tension between Ferelden and Orlais, and more importantly, that there are survivors, or Arlithin, which is clearly a reference to Flemeth and Solas.
That's actually insane that BioWare had a genuine plan for Inquisition almost 6 years before it came out.
Not to be that guy, but that may have been retroactive after the fact.
I mean, they never confirmed or denied it, so I'm going to take the Elven Pantheon as the writers playing the long game here. Even if it's not intentional, it's a great writing move to keep notes on things like this and work them in seamlessly in the retroactive sense.
Well, speaking of retroactive writing, this sequence is taking way longer than I think even your future site predicted, Barack. So do you have a comment question prepped for us?
You know, I got you my Big Mac munching brother. So since we are heading into the longest string of dungeons this episode, I think it's appropriate to talk about some of our favorite dungeon maps in the Dragon Age series. There is a lot of good options. BioWare does a pretty good job of making unique dungeons. I would have to give my favorite to the Temple of Mythal from Inquisition. From the approach of the temple feeling like a culmination of previous quests to the lore on the Arlathan elves, the fun puzzles, and the fact that we can take our time to go in peacefully and award ourselves with the ancient elves aiding us, or we can simply ignore all that and go in through the brute force method. Plus, the soundtrack through the temple is straight gas.
You forgot to add that it includes my beloved goth mommy Morrigan in full, glorious HD. That's the best part of that dungeon.
Her lore dumps are great, don't get me wrong, but last I checked, I'm not a full gooner like you, Donald, so why don't you answer the question?
All right, don't twist my nips now, Barack. My favorite dungeon is also from Inquisition. While I really do like the Deep Roads thematically, and challenge-wise it's still using Origins gameplay, which I am just not a fan of. My favorite would have to be the Frozen in Time Temple from Inquisition, where we see Fade Beasts and Tevinter Mages, all frozen in place. The aesthetic is really cool, and seeing all the enemies that you will have to fight after, unfreezing them builds a little bit of tension. I remember first discovering it and being able to admire how cool it was that everyone was frozen in place, but also being stressed that as soon as I unfreeze them, I'm going to have to fight my way out. Say what you will about Inquisition, but their map design is literal peak.
All right, decent picks, but both of y'all are sounding like some damn Zoomers with the picks from the next-gen game. So why don't we take it back to the classics, shall we? My favorite dungeon would have to be the Urn of Sacred Ashes Temple in this game. Quest itself is just kind of mid. I love the dungeon design, from the split pathways to the optional tunnels with unique enemies, and even the winter design of the mountain has a great feel. Plus, it all culminates into one of the most memorable bosses in this game, the optional High Dragon fight. That shit went so hard they slapped it on the cinematic trailer.
Damn, Joe, that's one of your best takes so far.
Good shit, gentlemen. All right, viewers, let us know your favorite dungeon in Dragon Age below. It can be from any of the games. Just have fun with it. As always, our editor reads and responds to every single one, and now Donald care to read our featured comment from last episode.
So our featured comment comes from Lude2851, who says his favorite city is Minrath House because of the amazing screenshots we have seen of the city so far. Editor put one of those up for us. I agree, it definitely has a good mix of fantasy and fanciness. Thank you for the comment, as well as the honorable mention of Orzammar, which is my personal choice. Don't forget to comment on your king choice we have this episode, and next before the decision will be made.
Well, with the long-winded side quest done, let's move on to the money. Do we have enough persuasion to get the max amount of gold out of Godwin here?
We don't have high cunning or max coercion, so I don't think we can, so I will just do the easier one and ask for 60. We can blackmail Godwin for additional 8, though, if you investigate why he needs the lyrium. So if you're keeping track at home, we are already up 28 gold, and we can still get 20 more gold from the dealer in Dust Town, doubling our 40 gold investment.
The moral of the story is drugs are cool kids. The badass Templars use drugs to kill the pissant mages, and we are using drugs to make bank. So remember, when the strange man in the dark alley offers you $100 to deliver his package, always take it.
Donald, please don't corrupt our viewers. Drugs are bad kids.
Joe, I don't think it is appropriate for you, of all people, to talk about not doing drugs.
Hey man, I have a prescription for this Jack Daniels lean blend. It's legit.
Biggest hypocrite in the damn business, Joe. Your nice guy aura is crumbling around you.
Says the dude who would commit a genocide for some Morgan tale.
Well, I just wanted to know if I should expect.
So Godwin has been slinging lyrium for the Templars on the side to make money. Apparently the Chantry gets the Templars so hooked on the stuff that they can't provide enough of it on their own. Alistair mentions a little more about it if we talk to him about his time in the Templars. Additionally, while we can only threaten Godwin in the base game, to turn him into the Templars, there was some cut content to tell Gregor about the smuggling operation to put a stop to it.
Sounds kind of lame. Lyrium is just a performance enhancer, and it's good money for us.
If you think that is all it is, you should rewatch Cullen's story in Inquisition.
Just because Cullen had that post-lyrium clarity doesn't mean it's a problem for the rest of us. There is nothing wrong with being addicted to lyrium as long as you're using your drug addiction to kill the pissant mages with Holy Smite.
I think Carol would have to disagree with you there, Donald.
Bro is smoking that deep dank pack of mage hate.
You two could never make it in the Paladin grind.
I'll ask you again when the lyrium starts giving you worse dementia than members of Congress have.
One last thing, we got to get our future enchanter into college.
Just don't promise her student loan forgiveness. Sleepy, your liberal ass just straight up forgot about that these last 4 years, huh?
Hey, if you scroll through TikTok, you will occasionally see a video of me forgiving someone's loans. The system works.
Shit, is that why you're banning it? So Gen Z can't hold your ass accountable?
I can neither confirm nor deny these allegations. Anyways, good job getting our girl in Barry. Now we can get all the upgrades we could ever want in Inquisition.
Good sidestep, Joe. I don't want to get demonetized for political shit 5 minutes into actually receiving it. I like how this is the one positive thing we can give the Circle Tower. Half the student body may be dead, but hey, at least we can give them a plucky dwarf to help clean things up and give them new dwarf lore.
It's kind of ironic a dwarf made the biggest mess of demon bodies in Circle history, and now we are sending another dwarf to clean up our mess.
Path will not be easy, but if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate.
It is pretty admirable that Dagna is willing to risk being surface cast to study at the Circle. Not only is she pissing off her family, but she is going against every tradition she was likely taught at birth. Unreal respect to Dagna. She definitely becomes a top-tier NPC by the time of Inquisition.
Shout out to Dagna, she is certainly one of the dwarfs of all time.
The Circle Tower better make a damn dwarven shrine after all the freebies the little guys are giving them.
Well, now we made Dagna's dreams come true. I actually love her enthusiasm.
So a few quirks about this quest. First off, there is a lot of ways to fail this quest. If we sided with the Templars, we automatically fail, as Gregor doesn't want some random dwarf running around unchecked, also talking to her father, the blacksmith, whose shop is underneath the Carta hideout. We can talk to him, then convince Dagna to stay in Orzammar instead. Also, this quest is one of two that can trigger a exalted march in Orzammar, the other obviously being Brother Burkel's quest to open a chantry. I don't know why this one can trigger it though. Either way, because we didn't do Burkel's quest, I don't think it will trigger, but we will have to see.
Yeah, Orzammar is the most quest-heavy area overall, and because of all the content here, there is a lot of ways to make Orzammar's future either flourish or collapse.
Speaking of side quests, are we done with them now, Barry? It feels like we have spent half this episode on filler.
I just have 2 more quick errands to do. I'm going to grab the key to the city in the Dwarven Assembly, which is a ring that gives us a 2 to all attributes, probably one of the top 2 rings in this game. Also, now that we have the money, I can get the Life Giver ring from the market shop.
Okay, before that, give Liana her nug. I've been waiting all episode since we broke her heart.
All right, I guess you waited long enough.
It's one of those subterranean bunny pigs.
Well, now we have the resident party camp chicken nugget. Let this bury the hatchet between horny nerds who simp for Liliana everywhere.
Thank you so much. You've made my day.
This dude really tries to cheat us out of our gold after all this, but thankfully our dude is max strength and can shake him down.
Good God, we are already almost at the 40-minute mark. How much longer do you expect to play, Barack?
Well, we now have the 2 best rings for our Warden Life Giver and key to the city, and we can get our ideal amulet in the Deep Roads too. We now are essentially fully built, so nothing in the Deep Roads should challenge our Warden at least. I plan on doing all of Caradin's Cross, then I will pass it to you, Donald, to finish up the dungeon next episode.
Jesus Christ, well, at least we finally have our last companion, the goated Uncle Oghren.
So, this scene with Oghren has a lot of different ways it can play out. There's the way we are seeing now, because we did talk to him and make him a promise. But if we didn't talk to him at Tapster's, he will be looking for a Grey Warden. And just stop us asking if we have seen one in a cliche moment like in the movies. I don't know which one is funnier, but this scene feels more lore appropriate.
He also has different dialogue. If we are a woman, Oghren will mention the Warden having a bountiful bosom.
It's crazy, we have seen him every episode since reaching Orzammar, and now he is finally in our party. I'm guessing we are going to have him in our party the whole time. That's why you got ageless earlier, right, Barry?
Correct. It narratively makes sense, especially if we are not a dwarven noble to bring Oghren everywhere in the Deep Roads. Not only does he have a million unique interactions and we get his full character arc if we bring him, but realistically most wardens shouldn't be able to find Branka and navigate the Deep Roads without him.
I might hate two-handers, but I'll allow Oghren on the squad since he at least has Berserker and has an absolutely goated character arc. If Alistair and Morrigan didn't exist, Oghren would be my favorite.
Bold choice, Donald, but I can respect it. Oghren definitely has one of the best character arcs if you max out his approval, though granted, just like Morrigan, a big part of his character arc comes from later expansions. The fact Oghren is the one returning companion from Awakening really does push him to a higher tier.
Even without Awakening, Oghren is funny as hell and has the best farewell speech out of every companion in the final battle if you maxed out his approval.
Oghren is awesome, don't get me wrong, but his placement in the game is kind of unfortunate. Unless you are an experienced player, it's advised you save Orzammar for last or second to last because of the length of the deep roads. You can't even talk to him normally until you finish the deep road segment either. This combined with the fact that there is a lot of cut content with Oghren already, and his personality being crude makes people write him off as just a shallow joke character, which is unfortunate, because me and the boys are all in agreement Oghren is just a peak companion overall.
Yeah, a lot of people write him off as a joke character, and I get he is not for everyone, but Oghren does have layers. Even if most of those layers are made of alcohol, it still gives him depth.
Good one, Donald. Also, you have a point about cut content, Joe. There are a lot of Oghren lines during the Deep Road segment that didn't make it into the final product. And while some of them are fluff, others are pivotal to his character arc. I think I may look into a dialogue restoration mod during the next few episodes to give our viewers more context and content.
I know a lot of people are iffy about mods, so let's be clear, it would be dialogue restoration only to give you a more cinematic experience. We are still going to keep the gameplay, enemies and textures the way the designers intended for the Puritans out there.
Good call on that, Joe. We don't really want to give the viewers a different game. Overall, just restore dialogue that they may not have seen before.
Oghren, I know you miss Branka, and this lore is important. But shouldn't we be more concerned about those ominous JoJo-ass villains just staring at us waiting for our dialogue to end?
At least they have some manners and let us finish our conversation first before they spin the block. Well, let's go deal with these hired thugs, who we appreciate their patience. Is always important to note these guys were sent by Harrowmont, so he isn't exactly honorable enough to not send mercenaries to ambush us. An interesting quirk is that you can technically officially support Harrowmont by doing his quest before Balin's, but then act as a double agent for Balin by planting evidence in the Carta hideout that implement Harrowmont's cousin as a lyrium smuggler. This means you are technically playing both sides, and this ambush here won't trigger. You still can only pick one as a king choice at the end of the day, though. But it's an interesting alternative we could have done and shows just how underhanded Balin is prepared to be.
I'm guessing we just didn't do it because you wanted to do Balin's quest first and meet him earlier, Barack?
Pretty much that, and also just time management, since that would have been way longer and all we would have gotten out of it was Harrowmont's dialogue, which we don't really need.
Yeah, I may side with Harrowmont, but he doesn't really offer the same drama that confronting Balin does. He just kind of talks about our dad.
The man offers little value to Orzammar and little value to the story. What a surprise.
3 episodes later and you're still beefing Donald.
Okay, ladies, calm down. You can go either right or left in this crossroad, and they both offer different battles. However, I'm going to start on the right and work my way. All around there is also a lot of side content to get through in the deep roads, and I'm going to 100% this map.
There's a lot of side quests and even more darkspawn to kill. The next 4 dungeons are almost fully darkspawn, so get ready to see every spawn variant imaginable.
Our boss fight counter is also going to soar now too.
Oh, is it? Man, I had no idea.
Wait, hold on. Why did that sound so sus?
I don't know what you mean, Donald. I'm just cooking against these spawn here.
Nah, hold up your plotting something, you filthy rat, Joe. What is he planning?
What am I, the Barack Whisperer?
You might as well be with the way you have this dom and sub-tension going on.
We have what now? Donald, I know you're down bad, but can't 2 dudes just be bros without it being sexual? Just calm your feelings, little D.
All right, deflect my questions. I will still find out the truth at the end of the day.
Okay, well, good luck with that head scratcher, Donald, because I don't know what you mean, but goddamn, the Darkspawn emissaries have Curse of Mortality now. That little red circle of shit means that the party member takes constant spirit damage while also being unable to heal. If they put it on our rogue or mage, we are screwed because it lasts like over a minute. Our warden might be durable enough to outlast it, though, if we get lucky.
This is why you run 2 Templars at all times. Dispel Magic gets rid of this stupid bullshit immediately, but no, you Democrats got hard over the champion spec first.
Well, champion has still been useful for debuff and tanking Donald. Also, I know math is hard for you, but if you haven't noticed, we are close to level 14, which means we can finally take our 2nd specialization and put this bullshit to rest.
Sit, Ochnans, oh God. Mummy.
Damn bro has been holding in that shit since loithering. But yeah, not going to lie, Donald Cleanse Aura here would have been more useful, but not useful enough that it is make or break. I think Oghren dying here is more because he is less equipped and built than our other 3 party members rather than a sign we need to reapply his skills.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Obama. I'm just glad I am finally seeing you struggle a bit with these fights. I feel like you blazed through the Fade and Circle Tower way too easily.
Yeah, the Spawn haven't done tactics like this since Ostagar. They are flanking and bringing out ogres again for the first time. Still, even if they are finally trying again, this is still free eats we are well built to be stopped. It's a good sign of all our efforts we have put into this playthrough.
Gotta love that positivity, boys, when's the group stroke fest happening. But yeah, the deep roads really help show how tactical the Dark Spawn can be. Whoever designed Hanleaf really didn't do the Dark Spawn justice in terms of encounters.
To be fair to the Darkspawn, they had just arrived at Shale's village. I don't think they had the prep time for traps. It's still lame from a gameplay perspective, but I think they had a narrative reason for the fights being boring.
Either that, or they just didn't put much effort into the DLC's enemy placement. This dungeon, however, has Darkspawn coming from 6 different angles and has wide open areas too, so we can't just abuse a single AoE spell or Shale's Stone Aura.
Part of the reason we shouldn't bring Shale until we reach the Anvil of the Void, and even then we should only bring her for the dialogue. Shale's Aura really isn't too useful here otherwise, as opposed to the more closed-in dungeons.
This, of course, naturally only affects me. Unsurprisingly, the game really wanted to throw me a challenge.
Skill issue, Donald, but anyway, Barry, what's there to explore in this place? I remember the Cross just being a straightforward Darkspawn assault.
Well, there is no lore on Caradin's Cross itself, it's just a standard dungeon. But there are some interesting side quests in this area, some of which span the entire Deep Roads chain. There is the Cross-Cut Drifters, which follow a mining house blowing holes randomly in the Deep Roads looking for lyrium. The quest is just searching rubble piles for their loot cache, which is why we are doing it. The loot includes the Effort Gloves, part of a late-game armor set in the Deep Roads, as well as the Ring of the Warrior, which gives increased dex and strength, which we will put on Oghren since we already have our guys' accessories mapped out. The other side quest is Asunder, which we already started back in the Educan dungeon last episode. The other 2 bloody parts are scattered around this map, so you will see me pick them up now, and I will have Donald complete it when he reaches Orton Dungeon next episode.
Goddamn, I just willed that into existence, didn't I? You say one half joke last episode, and it comes back to bite you in the ass as a random demon next episode.
Honestly, yeah, you probably manifested that, Donald, you are basically our Demon Shore boy now.
It's probably because I am the only one who is man enough to get rid of them at the source instead of coddling the mages in a dam tower. Demon Slayer Trump is living up to his name, you damn mage apologists.
Sure thing, Donald, you're entitled to your own roleplay if that's what you want. You might as well enjoy Templar now, because when we reach Dragon Age 2, we will definitely be changing our class.
Wait, why the hell would we do that? Why not just keep the same class in all 3 games? Warrior is the class for men, and I know Joe doesn't really qualify, but I always considered you almost one Obama.
Just because you weigh as much as 3 men doesn't mean you are one either, Donald.
First of all, I don't know how you think I am almost a man, and I'm not even going to inquire further to that one. Secondly, we play different characters in each game anyway. We might as well play something different each time to keep things varied. And third, I'd really like to be a mage in Dragon Age 2 narratively. I think the story makes the most sense as a mage, and mages get a ton of extra dialogue.
Hell yes, mage for life. I can finally play my goated force mage.
Joe, you're the only person who even likes that specialization in Obama. How do we know the viewers wouldn't like playing a warrior in all 3 games? Maybe they want our character to be a badass leading the charge, not some pussy who stays in the back.
I mean, I don't think our viewers really care about our class that much, Donald. I think they are here for us and the story. We could put it to a vote, I suppose, but I'm really leaning towards different classes each game. Because I would love to play a rogue at some point, and I know Joe wants to play a mage at some point.
Yeah, Donald, you got almost everything you wanted this playthrough. Let another president edge ahead every once in a while.
First off, Joe, keep that edging shit to yourself. We are not a bunch of teens on TikTok. Secondly, if things were going my way this playthrough, we would be a human noble, and all the mages, including your geriatric girlfriend Wynn, would be dead. But thanks to the magic of compromise, that didn't happen. So why don't we throw a poll up when we get close to finishing Origins?
I agree with Barry, we will consider it, but goddamn that Ogre did absolutely nothing to our party. Remember, when ogres were actually a threat, we had to plan around and not just be a tank to distract us while the real enemies do damage. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
That's the downside of mid-game. One single enemy doesn't do anything to us unless it's like a dragon. The enemies instead have to rely on sheer numbers or traps and magic to do anything to us, and the more we learn what to expect or what to build is the more that nothing affects us unless it's a very elite boss.
We have really gone from just saying we are built different to just living in it. Also looks like we got to level 13. So we are absolutely getting our second specialization next episode, so Donald's reaction was warranted.
You're goddamn right, it was warranted. I have been holding that in for like 10 hours of gameplay time. Finally, the mages will get what they deserve.
Red flag, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. Anyways, we got strength to 40 now, so we really only need to casually put a few more points into it since we have enough strength for the best armor now. For the rest of the levels, it should be a priority to raise our dex to increase our damage and defense stats.
What do these little guys have going on? They ran off so fast?
I don't know, but Morgan and Liliana really want to follow them now.
It's a trap, and I'm going to pause the squad from running straight into it. I don't want a repeat of last week's D&D session where Donald's paladin ass chased the kobold's ass deep in the cave and triggered every trap before begging me for heals.
Well, if you cowards had just followed me and helped me roll, maybe it would have gone better.
Yeah, sure thing, buddy. Besides, not chasing them now will give us a chance to give them a little surprise later, way more satisfying in my opinion.
It's crazy. We are still seeing deep stalkers this late into the deep roads. The little guys still don't put up much of a challenge, and their only power up is just adding more of them each fight.
Yeah, considering the damn training arc we had this episode, I feel bad for these guys at this point, because this is a slaughter. I think this is one of the last times we will see them, though, before they stop appearing. Just a quick announcement for the viewers. I know we are late as hell responding to it, but I guess whoever manages these videos has attention deficit or something. About a month ago, we suggested putting a compilation of our current series between large arcs, and the viewers overwhelmingly said no to that, so consider that idea scrapped.
Yeah, we honestly weren't going to do a compilation unless the viewers overwhelmingly wanted it, and you guys went the extra mile and overwhelmingly said hell no to that, so no worries, we won't do it, and we will focus on only fresh content for you all. We figure once we finish Origins, by killing the Archdemon, we will do a full compilation. Then maybe once we finish Awakening and Witch Hunt, we will add those onto the compilation, or maybe just do one once we finish with everything. We haven't fully decided on that yet, but a big compilation is in the works in the future.
And if you are from the future and watching the big compilation already, you are sexy as hell for watching up to here, and we love you.
Hitting the last big stretch here, and now the gameplay gets a bit more exciting. First off, we got this Revenant just randomly chilling in the roads.
Time to see how someone other than myself handles these undead tanks.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean? First off, Barack, what are you planning here?
Nothing, Donald. I just mean I can finally show the viewers some of my plays. Mainly, of course, being the fact that the Grandmaster Paralyzed Rune is overpowered as hell. The Paralyzed chance is pretty high, and it works on everything. Sticking 2 of these on a dual-wield dagger rogue with momentum is straight up a strat to solo the game if you're so inclined. Maybe I can showcase the build with Zevran later this playthrough.
Your yapping can't save you. Something is going on here.
Well, if you want to showcase it, you can Barry, because I don't think me or Donald care enough to use a rogue that isn't our bard goddess Liliana.
I mean, I only bring Liliana because she can lockpick, which gives us more money and loot. If I had the option, I would bring Shale Morrigan and Oghren everywhere, pure damage 24/7.
Yeah, good luck with that one. One trap and everyone but our warden is face down and ass up quicker than a freshman at their first fraternity party.
I appreciate the line, but goddamn, how many more of these cave dinosaurs are we gonna have to fight? There's no end to these little assholes.
Seriously, I know I said this was their only tactic, but how many waves are we going to deal with? This episode is already extra long, and my eyes are half open right now.
I guess these guys are giving their last stand before they disappear into the deep roads, never to be seen again. I personally say nothing of value was lost when these little guys stop appearing.
I think this is one of the only examples of wave combat in Origins, which is crazy when you consider that Dragon Age 2 is almost entirely wave battles.
A change for the negative, if I'm being honest. Origins at least had a tactical feel to it, while Dragon Age 2 just yeets out enemy after enemy, faster than a Mormon couple yeets out babies.
Just give it a moment, boys. The game has something cooking to make things a little more interesting.
Oh, right, I see you, Barry.
That's it. I am tired of this bullshit. Both of you have been in on something, and I'm not seeing what it is. Barack, you have been harder to do side content than usual, and this episode has been extra long. What is happening?
Donald, do you seriously not know what's going on right now? It's pretty obvious.
Give it a minute, Joe.
Wait, hold on. The Deep Stalkers have a mother who has a boss health bar, and you just fought a Revenant a few minutes ago. You son of a bitch, this is about the bet we made with the bosses. That's why you're playing way longer today. You're trying to edge ahead by killing 3 bosses in 1 episode.
Ding, ding, ding. Give this man his golden Big Mac. You figured it out, Donald. Viewers, we casually mentioned this before, but the 3 of us are holding a contest as to who can defeat the most bosses in our Origins playthrough. We actually all went back through the series to get an accurate count so far of how many each of us defeated. The president that defeats the most between the base game, DLC, and Awakening is the top president of Dragon Age and gets bragging rights, as well as the other 2 having to admit what the best Dragon Age game overall is on camera, since we all have different opinions on it. If I win, these 2 have to admit Origins is the best.
When I win, these 2 Democrats have to admit how superior Inquisition is. I will win, obviously, because I am a special gamer and have the moral high ground on the best game choice anyway.
Oh, you're definitely special, but if I win, these 2 have to be more positive about Dragon Age 2 because that's my favorite.
Yeah, like you're even in the running, Joe. The current score is Obama has defeated 6 bosses. I have defeated 5 since we forgot about the Shade in episode 2 and the Abomination encounter in episode 5. And Joe has 5 since he has technically defeated 2 Revenants. So me and Joe are tied up, and Obama has only 1 on us, despite Obama's long-ass grind this episode.
Well, actually, Donald, there's a Ogre Alpha up ahead, so I am actually going to have 7. Now I've done 5 bosses in 1 episode, easy moves for me.
You son of a bitch, of course your nerdy ass is cheating by optimizing the amount of side quests you do to get the win. Well, I will show you, rats. I'm gonna grind super hard next episode to get to a boss count that you can't even reach.
Well, I'm just trying to make it competitive, boys. I'll accept the results no matter what, because if I don't, I'm no better than you.
Damn shots fired.
Eat a dick.
Also, in the interest of a fair competition, each of us will do a DLC outside of the main game as a special episode, which counts towards the competition, as each DLC has an extra boss or 2. Joe will do Liliana's song Naturally. I will do Golems of Amgarak, and Donald will do Witch Hunt, obviously. We are not counting Darkspawn Chronicles because 1, we don't even know how many bosses we killed in that, and 2, it's Darkspawn Chronicles. Why would we count it?
Should be a fun time, all things considered. Also, damn, it has been a hot minute since we had an ogre kill animation. I know the dragon killing animation is the best, but this one just feels more satisfying.
Enjoy your minor victory today, Barack, because I know I can do at least 2 bosses next episode, maybe more.
I am over here literally just vibing, Donald, enjoying my kill animation. Anyways, this ogre appears when we find all the rubble piles for the Crosscut Drifters quest. Now we can get the stash, including the first set of a late game Armor Efforts armor, which is a Grey Warden armor piece. We are probably going to end up sticking the whole set on Oghren because there is a different set that we all agree on using. But we will show you how to get every piece.
Oh, hey, look at that. It's the bums from earlier. Looks like the trap setters got ambushed themselves. Good shit, Barack.
Yeah, this is going to be the last thing I take care of this episode. There's one last side quest to start here before we head to Orton Tig. Plus, it's satisfying to gank the Darkspawn for once by attacking them where they didn't expect it.
Damn, looks like our warden is tanky enough to survive 1 curse of mortality. That's good to know going forward. Anyways, good shit, Barry. You definitely cooked today.
Despite your nerdy-ass exploits, good shit, Barack. Next episode, I am going to clear through the rest of the deep roads and finish any quests you've picked up so far. Viewers, get ready for another extended episode. The deep roads hit long and hard.
Thank you all for watching. This was a much longer episode than I intended, and I'm sure the next 2 episodes will set records for being longer than usual as well. Don't forget to comment your favorite dungeon in the Dragon Age series, as well as your king choice for Orzammar, if you haven't already, as you still have this episode and next to do it. Our editor will respond to everyone as normal. Also, your likes and comments are really going to help get us through the long slog that is the rest of the deep roads, so stay safe, everyone. Obama out.